three plans or three things that work really, really well for me when I'm starting to lose control of the knee coming in across the belly or the person going for the underhook. So I want you to just have a little play with all three now. Like we already talked about the other day and in our little warm-up there, just that nice relaxed feel, kind of like sinking yourself through your partner, getting the right angle of pressure is going to be super important. But also just positioning our body as well correctly is going to be important when our partner is trying to make the escape. So the first position that I want you to look at of the three is controlling the lower half of the body with my knee. So instead of having like this traditional jiu-jitsu position of my knee driving into his hip here, I want you to think about taking the knee underneath his hips, like this. So the first place that I saw this was a Braulio Estima seminar, and he was talking about like the rudder of a boat. So wherever we push this, we control the direction of the boat, and the same thing for this. He's trying to turn himself in towards me. We're driving over to the side, so it's difficult for him to start turning in towards me. So if I feel like I'm starting to lose the control of him rotating towards, taking our knee down, putting it just underneath his tailbone, and then using my underhook to not be as deep, but bring it down and pinching on the hip. Like this arm, depending on how long they are, Matt's quite long. So it's difficult for me to reach fully up to this crossface. I could stay on that and just base my hand on the floor, or we can bring this hand in and we can just control the hips on this side as well. I like this second foot up from this position rather than having my knee down because it provides a little bit more like push in towards my partner. But this is a great way to just take a breath. I'm like here, my partner starts turning in towards me, just start moving down towards the hips. I'm putting that knee between and pinching my elbow in. Great way to control the position. Now, let's say he makes the turn and he starts to bring the knee in. The second way that I want you to think about controlling this or changing your body is to bring your knee into the armpit. So kind of like a knee slide. So from here, we're going to switch the hips, bring the knee into the armpit, and we're going to sit down on his leg here. This foot is still going to be up, so I have some push back, and I still have my inside control on the underhook and the crossface. Now, what I would personally look to do here is start to open up his hips again. So I'd start to drive in, but I'd start to flare my knee so that I can still get myself back to that original position and control the hips off to the side. And then as I feel ready, I can send myself back up and get back to my floating position here. Third one, and probably, in my opinion, the best of the three, is where we rotate up to like a half north-south position. This works great for both the knee in and the underhook. So let's say this time he's going for the underhook and he starts to bump in, he starts to bring the underhook through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my arm across, bring my hand down and block the hip, and I'm going to kind of use my hand the same way that I used my knee a second ago. And then I'm going to try to flatten him out by using my lat pressure into the side of his face. Now you notice I haven't gone fully around to north-south. I'm still kind of here in this side control position, but I've controlled his rotation by pushing his head to the side. I've controlled his rotation by blocking down at the hip here, and this is a great place to have a little rest, especially for you more mature grapplers. Not looking at anyone in particular. You've just taken 3 minutes to pass some dude's guard. This is a great camping place for us, just to get our breath back, rest. What can he do from here? Not a lot. He has to have his hips in play to make this position work for him. I've taken myself away from the hips, so if he starts bumping his hips and moving now, there's no reaction on me because I'm away from his hips. And I've got good pressure into the head. Great place for me just to do that. Make sure that you've got this separation of your legs. I don't want it to be switched this way, and drive in. So what I want you to do is have a little play with those three. Number one, partner's going to start to try to get his knee in. We're going to start trying to drive down and control and push the knees in the opposite direction with the knee underneath. Again, depending on how big they are, depends on how much of the knee you can get underneath. He starts to turn in, so I do a little hip switch. Bring my knee and I aim for the armpit. I sit down on his leg. Then I rotate back open. So again, one more time for that one. He tries to turn in, little switch of the hips, not switch of the hips this way, but bring the knee in, so I've still got my legs in line, open up. And then the last one, no matter what he wants to go for, he starts trying to lift his shoulder and turn in towards me, switch, and then we don't move around, we just lay and give him a good face squish. Make sure that his face is pointing in that direction is what we're looking for. And then whenever we're ready, whenever we've taken our break, we can move ourselves back in and get back to our inside control. All right? So obviously there's 3 things that I've given you a little bit of guidance on there, but I do want you to play with the position. Person underneath, your job, look for underhooks, look for the knee and escape. At the moment, we're not rolling this way. We're just turning towards. And then use any of those concepts to try to fix the position for yourself. Okay? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.